Hello, it's Monday. Yeah, I know it's late again. Today, I came down and apparently there were like 3 or 4 updates of who knows what. Okay. And I had to restart the computer and on and on and on. So yeah, um, it looks like this is working. Yeah. And it says it's streaming and it says it's recording. And the screen I'm looking at now, I still don't have my large print chat screen working. I don't know where that, I don't know how to fix that. And I haven't been able to get technical assistance, I guess I'll call it. I haven't been able to have that happen yet. So, um, yeah, that's, that's it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be doing things. I'm going to try anyway. So I've got the Scarlet Macaw dinosaur here. I got the legs painted and they came out okay. And now I'm going to paint the plates. And I tested a bunch of different things here because I was looking at maybe highlighting the plates with some pearlescent, just some shininess. And I tested 5 different base colors. This is the base color of this. Okay, so that's pretty much the same. This is too orange. The amaranth, that's not going to work. The dark vermilion is not too bad. The scarlet is it's a nice dark red, but it would mask the ribbing. There's lots of texture on the plates, as you can see. It would mask that. So okay, I'm going to do this. This whole thing is about getting not very much done, but taking a long time to do it. So I'm going to take a long time to do this. I'm going to say, that's out, that's out. I should use I should use a bigger marker. Let me do that. Make it more dramatic. For those of you who have watched the stream before, you know that what I'm doing here is attempting to use up as much time as possible, not really accomplishing anything before I move on to, working on whatever it is I'm working on. So those of you who haven't been here before, that's what I'm doing. It was typical many, many streams ago that I wouldn't ever really get started until 10:30, that I would be doing something or talking about something. Here, this is out. That's a much better marker, much more dramatic. Um, and I'm thinking I don't want it the same as the body color. I don't want, even though I might like shade them differently, which I don't do very well, I'm not going to use the same color as the body color, which leaves me either dark vermilion, which would make them a little yellower, a little more, not as orange as the amaranth, but a little yellower. Or I can try the speed paint, which I haven't used in a long time. The speed paint is an interesting thing. It basically has two pigments in it. It's a wash to begin with. It's transparent or translucent. You can see through it. It doesn't cover. It's not like this blue paint that covers up things like coverage. It doesn't do coverage. It I really should. Speaking of blue paint, I'm just looking at this and this like right there. Okay, you see that? That's that shouldn't. I should paint that a little bit of blue. So I'll probably do that um, pretty early on in the process here while I'm still noticing it. I'll look around, see if there's any other blue that needs to be touched up. Yeah, there is. There's a little spot down here that's not painted, but yeah, I hadn't really noticed that much before. This one here, I think that looks okay. Let's see what it's like on the other side. Yeah, those lines are okay, but right there at the top of this leg, that definitely is not. That's really not very good. Um, so the speed paint is, first of all, it looks like it covers pretty well, but if there's an undercoat under it, it'll be like translucent. You'll be able to see not so much the color, but if it's a dark and a light color, you'll be able to tell that there was a darker and a lighter color under it. The other thing it does is, well, like I said, there's almost like two pigments. The vehicle, the solvent itself seems to be colored, or it has a pigment in it that. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I have to take a break. Sorry, just got a phone call that I need to take. thought I hit the brake button. I guess not. I guess you just been sitting here watching this the whole time. Sorry about that. Yeah, I hit the brake button, but it didn't brake. Oh yeah, so the speed paint. So it's got two colors in it, or two tones of the same color. Um, it's very thin. It's almost like a wash. Actually, it is like a wash. But the pigment that floats in it, the darker color, is supposed to settle like it is with a wash. It's supposed to settle into the grooves like that. And so there's that. The downside of it is that um, this is not the don't dissolve kind. Okay, there's a dissolve. This dissolves in itself, so it's hard to paint over. I'm torn between that and the dark vermilion. I could put a wash on the dark vermilion, but I'm going to try the speed paint. I'm going to try it like back here and just see how it goes. Okay, I'm not sure how it'll go. So that's one thing I'll be working on today. The other one is the GT350. I painted it over the weekend after making an effort to repair the mess that was here. There's still, if you get the light just right, you can still see that there's a problem there where the paint blobbed on me that one time. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to inspect it carefully to make sure that it's painted everywhere. Looks like that's okay. I'm going to take this off the cardboard and put the cardboard over here. Now, the body of the car looks okay on the top, but the last time I painted this, I put a little spray on it. You know how I talk about how paint jumps onto my hands? Well, later in the day, I found some blue paint right here. Why is this so close? So I found blue paint right here, like I obviously had touched something that was wet. It's not the hood. So I'm afraid I'm just going to look at it and I'm just hoping that I didn't touch the side of the car. Okay, this side looks okay. Back looks okay. This looks okay. I had to repair this here. You can still see it a little bit. It's not too bad. Okay, so whatever I touched, where however I put my finger into paint, it wasn't on this, which is good. I can put this off the holder now. Put this side and deal with deal with that later. I must have bumped it into like the paint that's on the edges here. Oh, what I need to do now, and this is not a technically difficult thing at all, but it's nerve wracking because of what I might find is I have to take the tape off. And what's supposed to happen is when I take the tape off here and here, there will be beautiful, clean edged white stripes. And if there isn't, I don't, then the work I've done on this so far may or may not be able to be salvaged. I don't know. That's a thing to find out. So I'm going to start that. Well, it's white. So far, it's white. This is an important part there. Ooh, that's not bad. It's a little bit ragged there. I was afraid of that, right where the scoop is. Yeah, I'd give that an okay. Right here, it's a little bit of blue that I don't want there. I might be able to clean that off. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens with this one. This one's actually a little better. Um, There's some tiny spots on the edges that I don't, that I'm going to, what I'm going to try to do with those. There is, that's how it's supposed to look. Look, see, is that these tiny spots I'm going to try to just scrape off, and hopefully I can get the blue off and leave the white underneath. I don't know. Um, well, let me do the part that shows the most, right? Here in front, up here on the top. I mean, if you look at the car, the top of the roof here, that's the part that shows the most. It's a little bit there, but that gets painted silver. Yeah, leaking is there on the frame for the windows, but I'll talk about that, but not do it. I'll talk about what's going to happen there, but I'm not going to do what's going to happen there. Not today, anyway. Yeah, trying to get the end of it here slowly. Okay. Guess I'll do the back here. This could get pretty weird around the back because of the all the indentations and stuff. I'm glad the roof came out mostly okay. There's a little spot there that I might try to correct. But in the back here, not so much right at the beginning, okay. Ooh, that's that's a mess on either side. Right there at the bottom of the indentation. That's gonna have to be cleaned up. It's like the tape didn't get there. It rotates like that. There's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of movement back here. So this right there, yeah, there's some spots here, but right here and here, that's not good. So most of this is the blue got onto the white. Kind of happens sometimes when you spray at least three coats of paint on something. I'm gonna have to take a break again in just a minute. This time I put the brake sign on. Yeah, the same thing happened there. Um, I might have to try to not just scrape it off, but I just have to try to repaint that. But yeah, the issues are that's not too much of a problem. The license plate goes there, but yeah, it's not great. This one might be a little messy too, and then the front could be very messy. I'm glad the top of the roof came out okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. This one's not going to be good. There's a big gap there, right here. I can tell right off that that's going to be a challenge. Yeah, there's just a lot of blue that sprayed in there. Yeah, I mean that's just going to require a lot of really a lot of care. And then this here, this is almost certainly going to be messy. Yeah, not as actually it's better than I expected. A lot better that one anyway. That one's a little. That one got messed up there. Okay, so I've got some of the smudging is not where there's a problem here and here and here here. You know what I'd really like is to be able to use the white paint. I don't have a white. Yeah, I mean just places like this where it needs to be fixed. This is okay. That's good. And the hood's mostly okay. There's just tiny bits like here and here. And this goes here like that. The stripes kind of match. But yeah, this was really difficult. This was a difficult thing to tape because of all the different weird textures. One thing I can do, and I might do this because I've got a lot of time. I'm not in a real hurry here. Is I can scrape off the blue, okay, and then paint the white, and then tape. I did this with the Lotus Ford race car. Okay, is you get the blue out of the way because that'll bleed through the white. Okay, get the blue out of the way, and then do the reverse masking. Okay, mask the on either side of the white, mask the blue instead of the white, and then respray the white, and that actually worked okay. It worked okay on the Lotus Ford. It worked pretty well. And there's still some tape in there that was really hard to get in and is now hard to get out. Is since I've got like 8 months to finish this yet, I said I'd finish it this year sometime. Is I think I could do that. Like here, I would tape here and here and here and then mask everything else. That would be pretty easy. I can just run some tape across here and mask that with a piece of paper or something. All right. And then I can do the same thing back here. Let's get the blue off of the white. Okay. Here and here and here and then back here. And then mask on the white side. So I'm gonna try a couple of different things before I do that. But that's one thing I can do. Um, and it looks a little weird now because the windows are covered in the hood, so it looks like it's scuzzy here. But for the most part, I'd say this is close to where it needs to be, and the colors are good. Okay, the white on the blue seems to work pretty well. But there's just little tiny bits of cleaning up I need to do that are going to be. I'll probably work on that on Wednesday. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm not going to work on it today at all. I'm going to put this in here, this in here, and I lied. Maybe I'll work a little bit on the hood. I might I might do that a little bit later in the stream, depending on how long it goes. I might also end up having to just call the stream early because we have some construction going on that we've been looking forward to for a while. The long, ongoing, never-ending construction job that I've talked about. Um, yeah, it's happening right now. In fact, I need to take a break again and take a look at what's happening. Okay, well, turns out I wasn't really needed anyway, sort of. I'm going to get brave here and the head magnifier's out. And this tiny X-Acto blade. And I'm going to try, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to, I'm going to try to clean up some of the blue paint that's where it shouldn't be. I'm going to see if this will work. Like when they're restoring old paintings, trying to take layers off, damaging what's underneath. That's what I'm trying to do here. That was actually pretty successful. This might end up working, except for maybe a few spots that are kind of unsalvageable. I have to be patient. A little bit ahead of myself there. Hard to get the right angle here. This spot here, it's a bad spot that needs to be cleaned out here. Here, kind of flared. That came off. This looked a lot better without the magnifiers. I tell you. Well, it's not perfect, but it's much better. It's a tiny spot here. Looks like maybe I nicked the blue on the front of the hood. It needs to be blue. And I got, I'm not going to use the spray paint on that. Really, really tiny spot. I got some gloss blue. I think will match. And what I'll try to do is just touch that little spot there. I don't know if you can see it, but right here is some inconsistency. Just a little indentation. Still, well, I'd say not exactly totally 100%, but definitely improved. Improved enough that I can say that's not bad. I think I did a fixing of it. So this little scrapey technique, I'd say for the most part was successful. Even under magnification, it's not too bad. So there, look at that, blue with the white stripe, and mm, so enough of that for now. I'm going to. I need to quit early today too. I mean, so not only am I taking these breaks, but it's just one of these sort of a chaos day. little bit of a chaos day. And yeah, it is. I just say it over and over. A chaos day. Yeah, it's a chaos day. Oh yeah, here's my note. Install Windows. That's important. That's an important self note. That after I get the body of the car looking okay, which includes painting the frames around the windows, I'm going to do that. Yeah, another way to waste some time. Install Windows, but first, paint window frames. Otherwise, it would have been like cut the blue wire. But first, it would have been a thing like that. I didn't want that to happen. Um, I'm going to do the. I've got a little bit of touching up that. Is about to leave more stuff laying out here, filling up the workspace. I'm going to fix this little blip on the leg in that spot down there. Maybe there, just some other little spots. And then I guess I'll get the speed paint out and start painting the plates. But first, and I'll try it with this. I can use this as a test. I want to make sure that if I need to do touching up on the body, okay, after I get the speed paint on, that it doesn't dissolve the speed paint. So here, this has got the speed paint on it. Now let me do the touching up first. Let me do the thing I was gonna. The, the reason I started this. was was that make that contour better. Now the contour is better. And then there were some spots I saw. Weren't painted. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this is put that left. So I want to make sure I can paint over this without it dissolving underneath. And the answer is yes. It didn't dissolve. It didn't dissolve it at all. Okay, what that says is if I get the speed paint, like if it flows down too far and makes a mess, and I can touch it up before I put the wash on. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. The blue in the water, the wash water here. I don't know if you can see it. The colors don't come out. No, you can't really tell. It just looks gray, but it's a really pretty, really light, transparent aquamarine. Very pretty. Okay. Well, can't finish unless you get started, right? Right. I'm going to hold it like sideways like this because I don't want it to run onto the body. I want it to lay flat and fill in the ridges. So I'm going to try it. Let's try it. I'm going to try it on the tail end here on these. But first, there's always something. Just too much blue there. Yeah, it's not working as well as it did on the car. Never mind. I hardly ever use these. I don't know how this is going to go. I think this is a good brush for it. A little bit wide. Needs to be mixed pretty thoroughly so that the different pigments, the two different kinds of pigments are stirred up. I don't know. I don't know how this will go. Well, that looks kind of like it should. I haven't really decided exactly what to do with the tail spikes. These. I'm kind of thinking, well, yeah, why not use the same speed paint? You know, and maybe do something interesting with the shading on them. What interesting would mean. It's like using a wash. This is pretty much what it is. I want it to seep into crevices. And then I've got the ones, let's don't get impatient. Do these first and then worry about the insides of the ones on the other side. You can see the darker, you can probably even see it. The darker pigment gets into the bottoms of the ridges. Why am I getting bubbles? I don't want bubbles. Yeah, that's giving an interesting shading too, from top to bottom. It's I think this is okay. I think this is an okay choice. It'll be a little bit of a, you know, not just the same color as the body color. Kind of. Oh yeah, I should talk about something while I'm doing this. I don't know, what can I talk about that I haven't talked about like 17 times already? I talked about how the speed paints work, but anybody who does this kind of thing knows better than I do, and they're better at doing it. Like I said, I think I've used these maybe twice. I used this red on the hair of one of the minifigs that's over there that I painted one of the divorcees. A gnome. I think she's a gnome cleric. I think that's what she's supposed to be. Okay, now we got the ones inside of the ones on the other side. But on the other hand, what I don't want to do, no, what I do want to do is look to see if there's bubbles. I want to get rid of bubbles. Um, but this is kind of settling in there pretty well. And if I get too impatient here, what will happen is that as I rotate the model, it will flow away from where it is right now, which is pretty much where I want it. I got stuck there. As I was doing this little daubing, I messed up. Yeah. So I guess what I need to do is I need to let this set. I need to let it set because it's pretty much doing what I want it to do. But if I turn it to do the in, yeah, I just need to wait. You know what I'm saying is this stuff will flow, and if I turn this to be able to get into there, to do the inside ones, then it'll flow. Yeah, I'll just give it a few minutes. And while I'm waiting for that to kind of dry and I can see it sort of drying, I might have wasted that if I can't use it again. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this stuff really gets deep into the brush. I have to do more thorough cleaning on that. Well, let's do the dramatic Xing and stuffing on things. So this I decided against this one, so that's out. And then this one, look at that. I'll circle this. I'll say that's the one I picked. And I'm thinking about doing a pearlescent highlight on the edges of the plates. And what color would I use? I really like this copper, but that it masks the color too much, so that's out. The neon is just it's too purple. So if I use maybe if I put any pearlescent on it at all, it is going to be the scarlet. There, that was fun. All the X's and O's and stuff. Yeah, if I try and it doesn't work, I don't know. I'm not sure what would need to be done. See, I can see what it looks like here, but I don't know what it looked like there. And that's a lot lighter color than this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paint the insides of the other row. At least try to. Tilt it up a little bit. You can see little spots on the edges that I missed before. Okay. Moving the stuff that's on there isn't moving away from where I want it. This is what I was concerned about. But I do need to let this dry before I turn it over and get the other side. That would that would be that would be a problem. Just enough. Ooh, there's a little spot that got missed. Okay, well, that's one side is done. Like I said, I want that to really set pretty well before I flip it over. Um, who knows what will happen if I flip it over. And what am I going to do with the spikes? Um, I don't want them to be weird. I think I'm not thinking of a different color really. I just paint them this and then kind of shade it. No, there's nothing on a macaw that comes close to that. I'm not gonna. I'm not really thinking like yellow or maybe. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Um, these came out okay. The speed paint is working on that. But the spikes, kind of a weapon, but also a display thing. What have I got? I see a spot that needs to be red. I need to just fix that right away. There's always there's always a spot that is just a little bit not what I wanted. On red. Yeah, that'll do. Um, well, since I'm not really accomplishing much of anything here, I'm going to um, I'm going to experiment with something else. And just this page is already covered with stuff. Those are the dino colors there. Put them back. I put all the dino colors over there. These are the dino colors. I put them there. Um, or the color, if you're seeing the same color as I'm seeing, the red looks orange. There's this whole thing puts a lot of yellow in, and the blue is way more vibrant than it really is. I've got a couple other speed paint colors here. This yellow, orange, gray. These are kind of brown. With bone. All right, I'm gonna make some swatches of these three colors and see maybe if that's what I want for the spikes. I'm going to label them so I know what they are. This is yellow. This is orange. I should, and this is bone. You would think that I'd be able to tell the difference between yellow and orange, right? Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Maybe you can't count on that actually being the case. Use a different brush. Uh, why not? Let's just keep using the same brush. What I'm doing here is I'm experimenting with different speed paints for the spikes on the back of the tail, thinking that maybe they would look okay if they were a different color. See, this is not, this is kind of cool. Yellow with the orange in it. Hmm. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. That might be okay. I think the orange is going to be too orange. It will not go well with all the rest of these colors. There's a little ball in there. You can kind of hear it. That's not bad. Maybe a little dark. I'm thinking of painting them other than the color I'm using on the plates. I might want it lighter. Well, if that doesn't work, I can paint it over and then try something else. Like I could use the yellow speed paint on them, and then if I didn't like that, I could get out like dead white or um, ivory or something and paint over it because I know I can paint over it with the acrylic and try something else. I forget what this looks like. Oh, it's very brown. Okay, that's not going to work. I don't. The legs are brown, but I don't want the spikes brown. That's just boring. So that's out. That goes back here. Yeah, it's right out. I'm leaning toward the yellow speed paint. And seriously thinking that that might be the one. I should probably. Well, I don't want to X over this. It's still wet, but I should do the you know graphic decision making. Oh, yeah, maybe, maybe, but yeah, that. So bring this guy back. Um, give that just a minute yet, and I'll turn it over and do the. I should finish the plates. I just don't want to touch it. That would be a. That would be a. Don't do that kind of thing. Now I'm going to be wrapping up. I can't even tell what time it is anymore. But, oh, it didn't spring forward, so it's like 11:30. Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up about noon today. Maybe a little after. We'll see how this goes. On Wednesday, I'm going to bring this over and hope for the best, right? Right. Make that more like this. I need something underneath. I need a thing underneath the leg here. Just this piece of cardboard. No, two pieces. What I'm muttering about is I want this up like this so that it lays flat and everything doesn't just run off in this direction. Okay. So I need to put a support underneath that right front leg there. one of the cardboards. I think I need to double it. There. Okay. It lifts it up, but it's nose heavy. I actually need to prop up the nose. Is this enough? Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. So there, that will be the way it will be held. These were just blocks I used to hold the body. And I didn't want to get them covered in paint, so I taped them, and it all. The tape also was useful in that it held them together. Okay. Yeah. So if you didn't see the other side, I'm going to make this look just like the side that you can't see. But if you did see the other side, then this side will look like that side. Either way, and for this side of the plate to look like the other side of the plate where I put the speed paint down already. I want to move over this way, left a little bit. Just yeah. Okay. Since I'm right-handed, I'll start on this end and work toward the other. Oh, that's okay. Well, I can do that. It's the inside of the plate on the other side. Why not? It's much more open on this side than it was on the other. No, a lot of bubbles there. I don't know why there's bubbles. Like, bubbles in the brush. I don't know why there's bubbles. It would be those would become unsightly. They would look bad. Oh, yeah. I'm falling silent again here, right? Um, what I'm doing is I'm speed painting the plates on the back of the Stegosaurus. Because what the speed paint does is that the darker pigment settles into the grooves and just creates a lot of it creates shading without having to have as much shading skill as you would like using a wash on it. And yeah, in general, it's coming out looking okay. And then I tested a different color of speed paint, a yellow, for use on the spikes rather than just continuing this color right along. I mean, which I could do, but just the spikes they're different. These are like display plates, and the spikes are going to be kind of yellowish. We're getting bubbles. I'm not sure why. But what happened today is I unmasked the GT. And I would say it came out not too bad. I mean, not it's not perfect. Um, there are some places where the blue paint did get under the masking, but I was able to test a process where I got a very sharp pointed X-Acto knife and was able to scrape the blue paint off. I practiced that on the hood, and it worked. It's I mean, like I said, it's not exactly perfect, but it's really pretty decent. I got it to where it's acceptable. So there's some other places that I need to do the same thing on the car body. I'm not going to do that today. I'll be working on that Wednesday. Do the same thing. I'm just going to use the X-Acto knife and scrape away the blue paint um, where it mars the stripes. Where it's just obvious, where there's an obvious problem. The very top of the car came out okay, and that's the most visible thing. The problems are kind of like on the front and the back, where there are contours that were just very difficult to mask. Looking around, finding spots that aren't covered. Oh, there's a blue spot. I had touched up all the blue spots, but I missed that one. primarily at the edges of the plates. There's a good chance I would miss a spot. And there are. I'm finding them as I rotate it. Sometimes doing this hard for me. I don't know if it's hard for you, but it's hard for me sometimes to tell if it's a spot that I missed or if it's just shiny because it's wet. Those are missed spots. That one's pretty obviously missed spots. All right, I need to let that this is supposed to be the final bit of the final bit. So I need to make sure that missed that there aren't any missed spots. Oh, I've got way too much speed paint in the well here. There's a couple little spots I want to touch up with blue probably. Okay. Well, I'm just going to let this be now. And where did I put my? I'm looking for the piece of paper towel I was using to wipe the brush. It's got paint all over it. Well, I guess I use more paper towel. I don't know where it went. And what I'm going to do next is I decided I'm going to use the yellow. I am going to use the yellow on the spikes. I don't know how it'll look. I will find out soon. I know the stirring thing takes it as well as anything, but I can't not take it by hand. All right, so I'm using this. This is a different color of the speed paint. It's this yellow, which is less yellow than it looks on camera. Okay, it's a little a little more orangey yellow. I think it'll go okay with the rest of this. And as I said, if not, I'll just put a coat of white or ivory on it. I want it lighter near the, maybe I want it lighter near the tips. Maybe I'm gonna do it like this and let it kind of ooze down to the bottom, maybe. Let the speed paint do its thing by just going where it wants to go. I just don't want it. No, I want vertical stuff on this. If there's going to be streaks or something, I want them vertical. I don't want like a horizontal blob on it. But I do want it covered. Rotate it. Yeah, I think that looks okay. I think that's a good color. Um, I'm going to declare that I did okay picking this. And I picked up the texture pretty well. Yeah, that's that's all right. I'm gonna let that just stand there like that, and then wash this in this. This comes with a stand. Little platform thing. See if I can find it. Hmm, wonder if I should try to paint it really. The stand. Okay, well, there's a lot of paint in this brush down near the base of the bristles just get it accumulates paint down there right here. You can't see what I'm doing. The base of the bristles there, you can see the paint that has come out of it. And every once in a while, it just needs a significant, um, serious solvent wash. Okay, the rest of this, once this dries, I'm going to be putting a light gray wash on this whole thing to tone down the colors just a tiny bit, but more importantly, to pick up the texture of the skin. Okay, I'm not going to be washing the plates. But before I put the wash on, I'm going to, check it over to see if there's any places where I need to do a significant touch up. There are some spots, these blue spots right here. There's two of them where it's white. I'm going to get lazy. I'm going to just see if I can not have to squeeze paint. No, that's just messing up the brush. tiny little bit of blue paint. I don't know if you can even see them, but there's some spots that are not blue. It should be. And I'd already done a blue touch up, but I didn't see those. Oh my. What did I did that. I did a thing that was stupid. I grabbed it by the tail spikes, right? You were all waiting. You were just all waiting for me to get my fingers in the paint. I know that you were. I know you were saying this hasn't happened yet. When when is he going to stick his fingers in the paint? The answer was just then. I don't know if I yeah, I did. I messed it up in a majorly way. I did. I really messed it up. What what a doofus. Oh, I can't believe that. Actually, yeah, I absolutely can believe it. I absolutely totally can believe it that while I was doing that tiny bit of touch up, I just stuck my fingers in the wet speed paint on the spikes. What can I say? I can say, oops, did it again. I did that thing that I do. Now they don't look as good as they did. Yeah, here, I'll just get them all with a little more on it. I don't want it right at the top. Okay, I think I recovered. Boy, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, I was just about to start wrapping up, and there, yep, just as I was doing a little, just grabbed it by the tail spikes. Pretty incredible how that happens. All right, it's about noon. I said I was going to wrap up early. Hi. Oh, hi, Enforcer. You have a different, you changed your name. I have to look up. I lost my large screen, um, chat screen. Yeah, you're not rambling into the void. I am. I lost my large print chat screen last week, and I haven't been able to restore it. And then today, okay, 60 days. That's a good. That's a good name, Ms. Mango. Okay, um, that's an okay name. I like that. I just didn't recognize you because I didn't know who you were. But thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. I hadn't seen you in a while. Um, I'm pretty much finishing up. Whoa, that's not good. I don't know how that happened. Ah, yuck. Dang, dang. the stuff dissolves itself. I don't know how those big blobs got. Just as I was congratulating myself on things not being awful, I find I did two things. I stuck my fingers in the wet paint. Duh, what a surprise. And I'm finding spots here where there was just a blob, where the blob was not pretty. I suppose I should look at the other side. There are no blobs on this side, so I don't know why there are blobs on this side. So Nicole, Nicole wanted her favorite dinosaur is a Stegosaurus. So that's why I'm doing this. It's a Stegosaurus. And she said, "Well, why don't you paint it kind of funny?" Like, what do you mean funny or weird? It's like, well, make it like a bird, like a macaw. And so I got some pictures of a scarlet macaw, and this now looks like a macaw, kind of. I mean, like a dinosaur version of a macaw. And I think it's come out. I think it's come out okay. You know, I think the speed paint kind of worked on here. And, I'm glad I picked the yellow for the tail spikes. I think that works better than if I'd done it the same red. So this is just gonna get a gray wash just to tone down the colors a little and bring out the texture of the skin. Do that on Wednesday. And then the GT350, I wanna show you that, and then I'm gonna sign off for the day. I need to end early today because we got construction going on, and I have to take care of the dogs and a bunch of other stuff. But the dyno's doing okay, and this came out all right. Let's see how the hood came out. I got the blue with a white stripe as opposed to white with a blue stripe, and I think it's pretty decent. It's not absolutely totally perfect, but it's pretty decent. I got some significant touching up to do here and kind of in the front, in the back, like here and here. But for the most part, it's okay. The blue color is good, and the white stripe has worked. So the main thing that needs to be done, other than touching up the white and the blue striping, is the window frames need to be painted chrome, or in this case, silver. And that's an opportunity to really make a mess of things. So I'll be starting that on Wednesday as well. But that's how that's coming along. This I don't need this anymore. This is trash. I got a bunch of trash piling up here. Um, yeah, but I'm glad you're back, Enforcer. You've been really busy then? No, I only made one. I wonder where that red came from. I don't know why must have touched. Oh yeah, I did. I tried to clean up the speed paint by using my finger. This is the my stupid oops of the day, as I was doing a tiny bit of blue touch up, and I grabbed it. I grabbed the model by the wet paint here. Now I'm seeing a flaws everywhere. Just flaw, flaw, flaw. Okay, well, at some point, I just need to stop messing with it, and that's the point. So I'm going to thank you for showing up. I appreciate it and joining me in chat. I hope you enjoy your new name, get feedback from all your friends, and see what they think. And I am then going to come back on Wednesday. Oh, these brushes are really a mess. I'm going to clean these brushes a little more thoroughly. And then I'll be back on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I'll be washing the body of the Stegosaurus, a light gray. And I'm going to look for the stand and maybe paint that. And then also attempt to clean up the white stripes on the GT350. Scrape away the blue paint as much as I can because I don't want to repaint things if I can avoid it. Repainting over spray paint always is risky. And at some point, either Wednesday or Friday, I need to start painting the window frames because they just need to be done. And that provides a huge opportunity for major disaster oopses. So you should all come back to watch that because that could be pretty exciting. Um, but thanks those of you who are watching. I apologize for the breaks that happened earlier. Phone call, people showing up kind of unexpectedly. Um, just a whole bunch of stuff today that needed to be attended to, and I had to attend to it. But yes, I need to go now. Um, I hope to see you on Wednesday. Start wrapping this up. Clean up the so much stuff everywhere. I am such a failure at my resolution. My twice now New Year's resolution to keep my work surface clean. Absolute, absolute total failure doing that. I'm not going to use the pearlescent paints. I decided against it. I don't think it would help. I think it would just look bad. And I don't, it's already looking okay, so I don't want it to look bad. Yeah, I'm done muttering. I've been doing a lot of muttering here. No, not a failure. Thank you. So yeah, the dinosaurs, it looks okay. Okay, it kind of came out okay. I think the speed paint on the plates, even though it's not really symmetric from one side to the other, it looks okay. So on Wednesday, I might do some little touching up around the base of some of these where the speed paint kind of just really just flowed into it a little bit too much. I'm not seeing a lot. I'm gonna put the wash on it. Okay. And then what is the other thing I need to do here? I'm looking for the base. Yep, there it is. There's a thing on which it stands. It's just like gravel and rock. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm not sure how it stands on there, like this. Yeah, like that. I'm going to paint this like it's grass. I'm going to paint it green with a green wash. And then these are rocks, and I'm going to paint them gray with a gray wash. So that'll be a thing I can do too, is work on that. So preview Wednesday, washing the dinosaur, base coating. I'll probably start by base coating this, make it look. I wonder if the green. Do I have a green one? Mm, okay. Here, I'm not quitting yet. I've got one more thing to do. Instead of painting it with a wash, I'm thinking I got two speed paint sorts of things. I've got a green one, and I've got this that I bought as a wash for the armor on my maxi fig. And if this works, then that'll go much faster and it'll look okay. I'm not wrapping up as quickly as I thought I would because there's always something, right? Always something that comes up. And I had an idea, always a dangerous thing, an idea, and I'm gonna try the idea. That's not a bad color. Kind of bright, but not not bad. Not bad bright. Called orc skin, but it could do for grass. I used this once before. It's a like an ink they call it. This could be potentially put just right on top of something else. Hmm. There's nowhere to test it really. Well, one thing I can do is I can test to see if I can paint over it. This might be better. This might I think that's a little better color. I'm gonna let that dry, and on Wednesday, I'm gonna see if I can paint over it. And I'm thinking that if I put it on, it'll work like a speed paint, I think, and show the texture of the whatever that is, grass or something. Oh, thanks so much, and I will see you on maybe on Wednesday. I'm glad that things are going well for you though, and enjoy your new name. Yeah, there. That's this. That's this. This is the dino. The car is under the paper towel over there, and this is a mess that I'm going to clean up. Thanks again. I will see you on Wednesday while I continue to make slow but steady progress on the Ford GT350 and fairly rapid progress actually on the Stegosaurus.